Welcome back to this session of Blades in the Dark. We last left off with a successful heist, and we'll follow up from there with what we're going to be getting into. But the first thing that we should have done at the end of last session is assign experience points. So the way you do that is based off of actions, similar to what we did in Blackbird. So the way it works is like you guys on your sheet will have little like XP triggers. And it's like, did you act in accordance with your personality, or did you act in accordance with your class, etc.? So if we look over y'all's sheets real quick, everybody pull up your character sheet if you got it.
Okay.
And we can just go for each of y'all real fast. So let me pull up. Those are Colts. That's not what we're looking for. All right, here we go. So Rick, you're a slide. Is that what you are?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So, did you address a challenge with deception or influence? Or did you, let's see. I mean, I would say you engaged in a lot of deception and influence last time. You were kind of...
I tried to.
Yeah, you were very intimidating and manipulating of the kitchen staff in order to like keep them away from y'all, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna say you can mark an XP for that one.
Okay.
And then it's every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP in that action's attribute. I don't think that we ever got to a point where any of y'all were rolling desperate actions.
I don't think so.
I did take stress. I did take stress.
I took stress too.
When did you take stress?
I'm trying to remember when we did that, but I did push myself.
I took
and I
two
took
stress.
on 2 stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you take
I took two stress.
whenever you do. Yeah. Whenever you take a stress, you take 2.
Yeah.
I believe that mine was when I was talking to the person who was giving us the knife, and I failed that check.
Right. So yeah, I wouldn't call that desperate. I'm trying to think if anyone did anything that seemed incredibly desperate. I want to say none of us did anything desperate, because that's like, you know, backed up against a wall. You're going to put yourself in major danger. You know, you could get maimed, that kind of thing. So you get an XP for that, Rick.
Okay. Where do I mark my XP?
There should be.
Yeah, I was just going to ask
it's
that.
like, okay, so there's, you see on the right-hand side of the sheet, there's a thing called Playbook, and then there's Insight, Prowess, and Resolve. The little ticks next to those, like at the top, like on the actual line where it says that, those are your XP trackers. So for anything that has to do with your character, you're going to add to your playbook, I believe. Okay. So put that on the playbook component. Or if you did like one specific action that represents something rather than a general action, you could mark it instead for like your stats. So if we said, Rick, when you addressed a challenge with deception or influence, you would have used your command, you could mark on resolve. And so basically when you fill the resolve XP tracker, you'll be able to add a point to one of those skills.
Got it. So I'm gonna mark 1 on resolve. Got it.
Yeah, and then playbook is, if you fill playbook, then that's how you're going to be able to get more of the special abilities. So you can mark another little something on the side, like looking into a mirror, etc.
Okay.
So Rick, you've got 1 XP point to put in either resolve or in playbook. Let's move on, because Whisper is right here next to me. So
that's me,
Anna.
Yeah.
You addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. Absolutely.
I did. I did a lot of ghost things.
Yeah. And so let's see, background struggles. No, and we haven't done anything with vices yet. So I'll say you also can mark 1 XP on either resolve or playbook, because you were using a tune to do your whispering.
Remind me what the playbook experience, like what do we get from that when we
That's
fill
where
that
you can
bar
get
up?
another skill, a special ability.
Okay.
Compel,
Thank you.
Ghost Mind, Occultist, etc. Jazzy, you're a leech. Okay. So, did you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem? Absolutely, you did. You used your tools in order to get the dumbwaiter moving without any kind of issue. Right? You're able to make that happen smoothly.
Yep.
So similarly, I'd say you could use either your prowess, because your finesse, or your playbook. I guess you could do tinker. You could do insight tinker, actually.
I also use consort to get a map of the crow's nest.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could mark resolve if you would like to.
So I only get 1 point.
You only get 1 point. It's kind of like Lady Blackbird, where like they limit the amount of XP you get to desperate actions, and then 1 point for doing each one of these things. Yeah.
I need this one thing open again.
And then Ash, you're the Hound. So, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
So I approached a challenge with that when I attempted to scout out the crow's nest and see. I didn't get much good information from that, but I approached it that way. In that same way, I think that's probably the closest that I came to that.
Yeah, and I think that's a reasonable explanation for survey, so I could give you, I would say, insight. I'd also say resolve, because I believe you swayed somebody early on when you were talking to people, trying to get information. I think I remember you using either, I think it was sway. I want to say you intimidated someone.
I commanded. I did a command.
You commanded.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say resolve, insight, or playbook would all be appropriate.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, like if I put a point into insight, I'm putting it on that tracker at the top, and then once that tracker gets full, then I can add like another ability or
indeed.
You know what I'm saying.
And this XP stuff will come will make a lot of sense in a second once we do downtime, because during your downtime you can train to increase XP or do other types of things. So that'll go with that. Okay, so that's the XP that we should have dealt with at the end of last session. Everybody got 1 XP. They've now placed it in their appropriate slots. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is your lair. Because now, y'all are a full-fledged crew. You need a lair.
We do.
So, as the nature of this game kind of works, you guys can just kind of throw out ideas of like things that, oh yeah, my character remembers this one place over here that was, an abandoned ship, or, kind of the sewers that you guys fell into. Oh, maybe you found like a little nook in the sewers that leads up into, a broken down cathedral or something, like some kind of stuff. So what do you guys think of for the nature of your lair?
I mean, I know a place.
I have a suggestion.
Let's use the names again. Let's see. I just want everybody to remember. So Rick is Talker. Talker. What do you say?
So I love this story about the catacombs in Paris, and I heard the story about like how there was like an entire theater that was hidden under there, and like they're completely unexplored and like unmapped. And I would like to believe that there are some catacombs underneath the city, and that we've got a cool layer down there.
Does it have to be among the dead bodies, though?
Can we say that we found? Can we say that we found like the theater, and that the theater is still in some state of opulence?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like, you guys remember Interview for a Vampire? Like where the vampires?
Yeah. Do I?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So a grand hidden. You just happened across this theater in the catacombs.
I was exploring the catacombs, found this like undiscovered theater area down there that nobody knows about.
Yeah, okay. and I as Riven would know that, because I used to before we move in together, I actually live with a whole bunch of like a theater troupe. So we used to visit. Yeah, we've performed there at several occasions, but it's super haunted, so no one goes there anymore.
Shifted at some point and
swallowed
up.
Okay. So, what's it like getting in and out of this underground theater? I love this.
Spooky.
Like, is it like, do you go down in like sewer drains? Is there some kind of like area that lets out into, I don't know, behind a dock place or something? I don't know. How do you get out of this into the city? Just kind of paint a picture of what this is like.
I feel like there's like the main way in is like through the catacombs, but there is like a secret entrance / exit, like kind of a la like the Batman series from the 60s,
Okay.
It's like a sliding door.
Right, yeah. There's like a slide down.
See, when you said Batman entrance, I was thinking like Waterfall that you literally jump through, and there's a thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is also.
Why can't we? Yeah,
So
why can't we? There's actually 3 entrances. One is through the catacombs, one is through a waterfall, and one is on a lever with a pole.
Sewer fall.
Yeah, so
we'll call it a sewer fall. Also, cattail.
Kevin's helping.
Butt in a second. There you go.
Yeah.
Lay down.
Boy. Oh boy.
Lay down, buddy.
Okay, so you've got a secret sewer waterfall, more of an exit than an entrance, we'll say, because it kind of goes down, be harder to get up into it. You can come down some kind of secret chute. Where is this secret chute located?
Yeah, where does it like?
What do you got to walk into? Is it like a TARDIS, like an old?
I want to believe that we have like an inn with like a friendly shop owner, and that shop is like ancient, like it's been there forever. And it happens that like in the basement, maybe he was doing some bootlegging or something, and he used the catacombs to sort of like tunnel things around when he was bootlegging stuff.
Like the Shanghai tunnels here in Portland.
Exactly. Okay. So like this
trapdoor chute.
Yeah, this shop happened to have an entrance into those catacombs.
Okay.
Is that still owned by the same person though? Like, do we have to go into that person's shop every time?
Yeah, and so it would have to be someone friendly to us, like maybe an informant that we know, or a fence that we've used, or something like that.
Does anybody know anybody that you can think of?
I mean, we did meet that barmaid.
You can also make them up. You can also make them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like as a traveling merchant, I probably know a lot of people.
Okay.
But I've also been very distracted. Yeah,
I've
been very distracted by this, who this person is, but I want to say, like, I'm probably connected to this person.
Okay. Is our lair in Crowsfoot? I guess we should.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say it's somewhere near, be on the north side, so you're somewhere near the docks, is what I would assume. Because you're somewhere near where a sewer is going to exit.
Where the sewer fall is, yeah.
Yes.
It's by the docks.
By the docks. So Jazzy, you know the person who owns this place.
What's the place called again?
What?
What's the place called again?
I don't know.
We haven't named it.
You know,
you tell us.
So near the sewer docks, there's this tavern you're talking about? This is what you're talking about?
It's not a tavern, it's just like a shopkeeper. Maybe it's a fence. Maybe it's just
maybe it's someone you supply.
Yeah, maybe
and they allow you to use their back room, which happens to have this secret entrance.
We'll call this person Elias. I'm looking at something. I'm just gonna say Elias. I'm looking at some of these random names.
Elias, you don't have to. You can do. You're a dealer. First names.
They don't deal with last names.
Yeah. Okay, so you know Elias. Elias has got some kind of little knick-knack shop, maybe. Not a lot of traffic, but you're in good with him. And so he allows you to go back there. He doesn't know what you're doing. He doesn't know about the secret entrance. He just knows that, I mean, the guy who used to own the place knew about it. And, Elias just like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, the less he knows, the better,
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you've got this underground theater. Right now, it's pretty bare. It's kind of worn down because of, years of disrepair. So to get it back up to its full, heights, and even to turn it into what you need it to be, which is this like den of, villainy, then, or heroism. I don't know.
We are villains. Come on.
Yeah, neutral
gray line.
Yeah, neutral Burglesburg. And so, that's going to take some time for y'all to get that going. Do you guys have a name? Do you guys want to come up with a name for your crew now? You're going to start hiring people. You got to be like, what's our name? There's the crows. There's the lamps. There's the sashes. What is it that represents y'all? Do you have something yet? Are you still working on it? What do you think?
Do you guys think that we should go with like an animal theme?
What animal would be best for us?
Like maybe something that like lives near the shore?
I think we could go something shadows themed, like the cloaks or something like that.
Yeah, or we could go something like, isn't the only food like eel pie or something?
Yeah.
What if we're like what if we are eel pies? Yeah, the eel pies.
I like that because it's so non-threatening. It's like
Right? And we can use it as and we can use it as cover, because if someone's like, oh yeah, the eel pies, and we're trying to be super secretive, people could be like, oh no, I was talking about the food. Don't worry about it.
People come into Elias's shop and they're like, I hear the eel pies are great, and he's like, what are you talking about? We don't sell food. You guys want to be the eel pies?
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I'm fine with
currently
the
eel pies. Yeah. All right, it sounds like y'all are gonna go with eel pies.
Yep.
And then
we were really hungry when we named our crew. Okay.
It's like you were filling out a form and all you could think about was lunch, and you just wrote eel pie. And it's too late. The ink's dry. That's the official name. Okay.
Ink's dry. Eel pie.
Just side talk. This is totally off topic, but Anna, were you super hungry when you named Uni?
No, I was, because I have most of my animal. Well, Hippo is named after an animal, so I wanted to name Uni after an animal as well, and it had to be an animal that didn't have eyes. So I went on like Wikipedia, and I was just like, what are all the animals that don't have eyes? And then sea urchins were one of them. No, get out of here! Go to jail. It's true.
I'm docking all of your experience points, so take it all back. Okay. All right. Y'all feeling good about all that stuff? You got all the admin prep stuff done?
We've got a crew. We've got a layer. We've got our experience. I'm ready.
So we don't have to mark anything else besides
do we need to do anything else
Not
with
yet.
the crew sheet yet?
No, I mean, fill in that information now. Like, you know, if you can fill in the name now, you can fill in the other stuff. Right now, you basically, all you have is your layer. You have no extra turf. You have no anything else.
Okay.
And so all that other stuff will come, you know, the more we play this game, the more of the other features you'll get. Because then during your downtime, you can also do things to improve your layer. Or when you make a score, you can choose to like try and take new territory or something. Okay. So... where do we find ourselves now? Okay, so y'all are all in your Catacombs Theater, talking about your last score. And what you do at the end of every session, right? You just got out of this, you just escaped, you've been kind of laying low for a couple of days, because, every time you do a score, you got to be a little afraid. And that's when you get to the payoff phase, which is, what happened with the end of the score. It's important, right? So y'all are all chilling in this theater, chatting over some eel pies. The irony is not lost on you. And when you hear from outside the sewer waterfall,
What was that? A honk?
Is that a goose? What?
I don't know.
Do we get geese down here? Have y'all seen geese down here?
I have not seen a goose.
I don't know
down
if
here.
I've seen a geese in all of the city in a long time.
That's fair.
Maybe it's a ghost of a geese.
I was just thinking the same. Maybe you should use some of your ghost abilities to talk to this. Wait, maybe we should establish first if it is a ghost goose.
Ghost, yeah. I guess we go towards the sound of the honk.
Yep. So as you move towards the sound of the honk, emerging from behind the sewer fall comes
a messenger goose?
A whole goose, a mechanical goose. And every now and then it is opening its mouth and a recording of a goose's honk is released.
Okay.
Wait, there's messenger gooses in this world?
Yes.
There's all kinds of mechanical wonders. And so this goose comes kind of waddling up to you, and it opens its mouth again, and then a recording starts playing. And it's Amencio's voice. And it says,
Amencio.
Congratulations on a successful evening. I heard from a friend of mine that you had a strange encounter with them, but they're keen to keep this going if you are. They said you may want to pick up a few bottles of something strong down at the docks. Ask for Teague. Signed, A. And then the goose turns around, lays a golden egg, and then jumps back out the sewer fall.
Is that like our payment?
Opens up, and inside are 6 coin.
6 coin. Nice.
Wow.
Well, there's only 4 of us, so here's what I propose. We each get 4 coins, and then we put 2 into our savings.
Or we can spend 1 coin.
You each get.
That's what I meant. We each get 1 coin. 2 to savings.
I mean, we could also just spend the 2 coin on like fixing up the place because, like, I'm not sure you see the crumbling wall over there.
That's what the savings is for. I don't know what 2 coins will get us towards repairing this right now, but if we put a little bit away every score, then eventually we could fix this place up.
You know, that's very responsible. That's very responsible.
The idea of fixing up a hidden base, we have to invite contractors and such like that. It wouldn't be hidden for very long.
But you know what? We could always, use some tomfoolery, chicanery. Kill them, okay. Sure, that might invite some questions, but it's an option. I was going to say, like, erase their memories and then send them on their way.
That's probably a better idea.
How would you erase their memories?
What's that?
How would you erase their memories?
We could do that. I have abilities that I can use to make them forget that things happened.
Can we keep the goose? Riven picks up the. Oh no!
It immediately left.
Fine.
It's like, I've got things to do. See you guys later.
That's a business goose.
Got goose business to take care of.
Okay, so I like that idea. There's also, I noticed on the crew sheet that there is a little thing to mark how many coins we might be saving as a crew.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there you go.
We probably will also need funds to pay our crew too, maybe.
If you end up hiring people, or if you get a larger crew, Right now, it's just all y'all, but as you grow in size and scope, you'll definitely get people that you'll want to hire.
These eel pies, they're going to spread like wildfire, man.
Talking about the food, or are you talking about...
Who knows?
Both.
Hey, that's how it goes. All right. So... the other parts of the payoff, or the downtime phase, that's the first part of the downtime phase, is the payoff from the previous score. The next phase is heat. Basically, you are assigned heat based on what happened. Even if you pull off a perfect score, evidence will exist. Something is missing. Some things are not where they're supposed to be, right? Stuff happens. Maybe some loose lips sink some ships, So y'all received the standard heat for a score like what you would have done, because you carried it out pretty well. You didn't really have too many problems. You did interact with some people, so they saw you. And then when stuff happens, later on, they're like, oh, there was this guy down there. So you got heat +2. So what that means for right now, not much. There is a heat meter that you can also mark on your crew sheet. And once that fills, similarly to XP, you get a wanted level, and wanted levels bring with them all kinds of issues. The thing that we'll be dealing with right now is one of those issues that becomes worse depending on how bad your heat is. Because y'all are still at a wanted level of 0, and you only have +2 heat, this won't be that tough. But you're going to be doing an entanglement. So let me pull up the entanglement sheet. Because you do have to roll this, even if you have no, even if you have 0 wanted level, you still roll for this. And I'll have one of y'all roll for it, and then tell me the numbers that you have. So if anyone's got your dice ready, I got it. So I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna read this out real quick, just to let people know what we're doing. So essentially, what we're gonna do is you're going to, because you have a wanted level of 0, or a heat of 0 to 3, you're gonna roll 2 d6,
okay, and
take the lowest number of those, and that's going to determine what. I
rolled 2 4s.
Okay, 4. Okay, so you are going to encounter one of either rivals or the unquiet dead. So let me look through this real quick. Okay.
Unquiet Dead would make so much sense in these catacombs.
So, this is just coming off the dome here. So while you are all hanging out, trying to figure out your next plans, you hear, coming from down the hallway, some moans.
Riffin's ears perk up.
Is that talk? Are you having the tummy troubles again, bud?
No, I mean, we all eat the same eel pie. What do you think? I'm like eel intolerant?
All right, if it wasn't you.
Maybe it's another goose.
I don't think gooses sound like that. Gooses are more of a honk.
Maybe it's a goose that's eel intolerant.
That could be it. Or it sounds like a very stereotypical ghost situation. I'm gonna go check it out.
I didn't want to say it, because it's a little bit too on the ghost nose, but
Right.
I feel like the last thing was a ghost situation too. Not everything can be a ghost situation, right?
Yeah, but we are kind of in a ghosty area.
Yeah, we're surrounded by dead bodies, so...
All right.
I thought I got rid of them all. I might have.
I mean, that's not how ghosts work, though. Their energy stays. They're still gonna...
Even if I leave like a finger bone, there's a chance that they'll still inhabit it or something, probably.
Yeah, and I did see a couple finger bones lying around, just so you know.
I thought they were from chicken wings.
So, Riven, you feeling any ghosts?
Let me feel them ghosts.
So because you're a whisperer, yeah, I don't think you have to actually roll to feel the ghosts, right? Because you kind of can just tap in naturally to the the ghost field. And yeah, you see a concentration of essence kind of moving in your direction, and you can also tell that it is malevolent. It is not happy.
I relay this to the rest of the gang.
Oh crap! Angry ghosts?
Yeah, I mean, we did sort of take over this whole theater down here. We didn't even ask permission of the ghosts that were here.
Come on, I thought you said you performed here before.
I have, but
fixing it up. We're gonna bring in the newest, latest movies. They're gonna love it.
Okay, Riven attempts to talk to the ghost.
So as you're, sort of reaching out to the ghost field, you actually see the ghost kind of take a corporeal form, and it looks like sort of a Shakespearean actor. Mm-hmm. And it's, kind of walking back and forth. And then it looks right at you, Riven, in a kind of, in an accusatory way, points at you and then it pulls a sword, a ethereal sword, and it starts charging at you.
Okay, I step out of the way. I do a roll off, a turn around, and I let the sword go whoosh right by me.
All right, so you want to roll a finesse,
yeah.
I think, on that?
Yeah, okay. And I'm sorry, remind me, so in finesse I have 2, so I would roll 2d6s, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
and you'd get to take the highest, and if you roll 2 6s, then that's a critical.
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
So I guess hold on. Yeah, so you're gonna try and dodge out of the way. I'll say it's a somewhat risky move because he's coming at you with a blade, so the consequences could be severe.
Okay, I got a 1 6.
You got a 6, okay.
Yes.
What's up, Ash?
I was going to say, I would like to assist and potentially step in her place.
Oh.
And while doing that, hold out my Spirit Bane charm.
Okay. So you want to... Okay, so then we'll say you also will... Let's see, you'll probably want to do... Are you going to say anything, or are you just stepping in?
I think I would just be stepping in. And, where it's rushing towards, I pull out my Spirit Bane charm that I hold around my neck and just hold it out towards him.
And so what do you want to use to do that in terms of your abilities?
I guess I would want to do finesse, I suppose, or
skirmish. I mean, either of those makes sense to me. It just depends on how you want to.
I prefer to do finesse.
Okay,
yeah.
So you are trying to artfully step into position, but you've got a very specific way that you want to move in. It's not like you're charging in. It's like you're trying to step into place. So yeah, go ahead and roll for that.
Okay.
Same deal, same kinds of consequences potentially.
Okay. And remind me, so I only have 1 point into finesse. So with that, I take the lower?
I think, yeah. I want to say, because you always roll 2, right?
You always roll 2. I'm just trying to remember what the difference is. If I have no points into something, what happens
I think
then?
if you have none, you get the lowest. I think if you roll 1, you can just roll 1.
Yeah.
You just don't have to take the lowest. You just take what the 1 is.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. I can look that up though real quick. Hold on. Let's pull up the sheets. Y'all.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what the difference is between 1 point into something and nothing into something.
Let's see. Action rolls. When player rolls a number of d6 equal to their character's action rating from 1 to 4. The action rating they use depends on blah, blah, blah. For each roll, we set the position and effect level. The outcome of the roll is determined. I think you just roll 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a roll 1.
Okay.
5.
Ooh,
5. Okay.
Ash, we're dripping in finesse.
Nice. So you, while Riven kind of floats out of the way, you float into the position like a choreographed action, and you hold the spirit bane out there, and the ghastly actor recoils in fear.
Halt, spirit! What is your purpose here? How dare you attack us?
I don't think.
Does anybody speak ghost?
Riven, you
I mean,
that?
I will interpret. I'm just looking at my things. So, I guess,
You could probably like.
Can I just talk? Yeah, I'll just attune. Yeah. So I will just roll for attune to try and talk with the spirit in spirit tongue, I guess.
Okay.
My highest was a 5.
Okay.
And I have 2.
So yeah, as you start to like listen to the moans, you realize, that's actually it's speaking to you, and he basically said, "Guys, you missed your cue. What's going on?
Oh.
I was.
What are you doing?
I was.
We gotta get on stage.
A steam partner.
He just walks off, just dejected. Leaves the stage.
Can I guess gather some sort of information because I am part of a theater troupe to see like maybe what he's dressed as and attempt.
Okay, so you want to like
you're doing?
So you're trying to figure out like what what do you want to try and know? You want to know what play they were doing?
I want to know what play he wanted us to perform in, so that potentially I might know it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So yeah, as he's walking away and losing his corporeal form, you attempt to pay attention to maybe some of his clothing. So maybe roll. Gosh, I don't know.
Like study?
Study? I think study.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I will roll. I only have 1 in there, so I will just roll 1.
Run 1 and take the highest.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, yeah. You don't remember. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know that it's definitely from like an era before all the bad stuff went down, before the kind of like the sun exploded and everything. And so you would know it as sort of one of these classical plays.
Oh, yeah.
By Cillian Chartres. And you'd have to look a little bit further into it, but there were some characteristics of his garb, like the poofy shoulder pads and the fact that he had a lizard's tail, that made you know that it was definitely Cillian Chartres.
Okay.
And he's gone now.
Relay this.
He's left.
Okay.
The ghost, fed up with your horrible performance, has left.
I was doing my best with my information that I got. So I passed that on to my gang, my crew.
Oh, he was doing Cillium. And then I'd like to like recite some line like
how do you
cowards die before they finish their ale pie, but never taste the death that's so sweet.
Oh my god.
Ooh, look at that. That should become like y'all's like catchphrase. That's pretty good.
That's a little wordy for a catchphrase. But I like the part about a pie.
Nice.
I didn't realize that you had such training, such theatrical training.
I don't like to show off. I say as I like polish up my spirit bane charm.
Oh man.
My goodness. Okay. So we'll call that a successful entanglement. I think it makes sense to give y'all XP for that. I think that Anna and Ash, you both used your skills in a way that was in line with the goal. So we'll just give each of y'all 1 XP in the area that you used, whatever skill you used.
Okay.
And now we move on to the biggest part of downtime, which are the downtime activities. What do y'all do during the time where you're trying to keep a low profile while you wait until the next big score? So if you got the book open, let's go to, let's see, page, hold on, it's like
45?
153 in the book, 161 on the PDF, where it's about downtime activities. So at the upper right, you can see a number of activities you can choose from. You can work towards acquiring an asset, which is something that you can use like a temporary item to get. So like on the next score, you'll have this asset to use. So in this instance, I mean, if there's something that you guys think you're going to want, you could try and acquire that. I think that that's probably more for when you definitely know what your next score is going to be. So you're like, oh, we need to get a boat, or we need to get a contact, or we need to get some special item, or we need to hire some people to watch our base while we're gone. So you can acquire an asset. You can work on a long-term project, which can be, related to either building up your base, trying to get like a contact maybe for long-term, someone you would actually have like access to more than just temporarily. You could work on like a crafting project, maybe trying to make items and whatnot. Those things do exist. There's a whole crafting section if you want to do that. You can recover from stress or from trauma. You can work towards reducing heat, which you guys have 2 heat, but no wanted level. You can train in order to get 1 XP in a specific area, or you can indulge in a vice, and that's in order to recover your stress. So recovering is like recovering trauma and injury, and then indulging in your vice would reduce your stress. So everybody's got vices, and you can engage in those. If you are kind of low on stress, but you have a little bit of stress, you should be wary that you can accidentally overindulge in your vice and end up causing yourself more harm. Okay. So it's good to balance when you go and do that. So consider that.
Just so I'm clear, if I'm at 0 stress right now and I then do my vice, then that can potentially...
You are definitely going to overindulge. Yes, 100%.
Interesting.
If your vice roll is higher than your stress, you overindulge. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I'll give you all a little bit of time to figure out what you want to do. You have time for 2 actions. So you could train 2 different skills. They can't be in the same tree. So like you could do your playbook once and you could do your prowess once, but you could not do your prowess twice.
Okay.
Or you could do like work on 1 long-term project for 1 chunk and then do some training. You could reduce some heat for a bit and then acquire an asset, like that.
So can you expand a little bit if you have the knowledge? Acquiring assets, a cohort, an expert, or a gang?
Yeah.
What
so
exactly
an individual.
Would that...
So in the game, there are things called cohorts, which are essentially like NPCs that you know the stats of that you can kind of take advantage of, right? So like, for example, if you didn't have Enna as a whisper, you could get a cohort who was a whisper, and that would give you access to that whisper for the next mission. So if you know you're going into ghostly stuff, you might want to bring that person. Or if you know you're going into a place where you're going to need an expert in, combat, and maybe like, it just doesn't fit what you guys' skill set is, you can hire somebody for doing that.
Okay.
I feel like since we basically broke into the crow's nest and we ran into the inspector, I feel like we should be maybe trying to probably get either more information or at least cover our tracks enough from the inspector.
So you want to reduce your heat then, is what that sounds like to me.
Either reduce our heat, but like I know the inspector sounds like a Sherlock Holmes, so it doesn't matter how much we reduce our heat because he'll eventually find us. I feel like we should probably either get more information about the inspector, to maybe use that as potential like blackmail opportunities to like sort of like keep them off of us.
Okay.
I'm
Because
not too concerned about them. Like when we left them in the tower, they seemed to be just kind of like, all right, we're square, kind of thing.
Well, and
they seem
one of you could look for that information as part of your stuff, and that doesn't affect everybody else's choices, because everybody gets 2 choices. So if that's something you wanted to do, Jazzy, you could totally do that.
I think I'd like to do that.
Okay,
I think
so we'll call it a long-term project, I think.
Okay.
Because you're like one of the things you can do for a long-term project, it can be looking into information on a specific person or on a ritual, say, if you want to conduct a certain ritual. So let's say what we're going to do for the long-term project then, Jazzy, is I'm going to start you a timer.
Okay.
Which the little pies. We'll call it an 8 segment timer, just simply because this guy is pretty, he's an inspector. He's going to be pretty well guarded with his past and whatnot. So you can use your, I guess we'd say maybe survey. What would you like to do in order to try and get your information? I guess I should ask you that.
I would like to use Consort.
You like to use Consort. So how would you use Consort? Who are you going to talk to?
I believe Consort is basically like you're using your influence to sort of get information. So since
you're schmoozing.
Since I'm a trader, since I'm a traveling merchant, I probably want to go through my usual my usual line of inquiry, which would be like shopkeeps and stuff like that. Like who does he normally like talk to? Do you happen to know where he lives? Does he purchase from you? What does he purchase? Certain things like that.
Sure. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, just because this is how these work, is roll your study.
Okay.
And so, we'll go based off of your score there.
So Ephraim Lane is his name. Mm-hmm. My study is... I have 1 to study, so I roll 2.
You roll 1.
I roll 1? Okay.
Yep.
4.
4. Okay, so that gives you 2 segments on the timer. So that puts you you've got 6 more segments. Okay. And that takes up 1 of your actions. You could continue to work on that long-term project, or you could do some other action. But so what this basically represents is, you got a little bit of information. You got some new people that maybe you should talk to, a couple of names, but you don't quite have anything that really jumps out as being valuable information yet.
I think I'm going to roll again.
You roll again? Okay.
5.
Okay, another 2 segments. So you're about halfway there. So you definitely feel like you're on the trail of something. Okay. So the whole time while y'all were waiting in between these jobs, trying to figure out what you're doing next, what's your character's name again? Liddy was schmoozing with people, out doing her usual rounds, delivering things, but was definitely trying to get some info on Ephraim Lane. Okay, so that was what Liddy did. Does anyone have any idea what they want to do for their downtime activities?
I'm kind of interested in a similar idea, but I think that we discussed after the crow's nest, we wanted to go look at the red sashes because they were the ones who were interested in the knife, right? They said that it was an heirloom that they wanted to retrieve. And I wanted to sort of try to acquire some information on the red sashes just to sort of figure out what we should be expecting to encounter.
Okay, and what kind of info are you trying to go for? Yeah.
I'm just trying to study the intentions of the red sashes because I sort of had the feeling that they were trying to sort of plant that evidence, right? That the leader of the crows was stabbed, right? And they wanted to plant, or it was the lamplighters that wanted to plant the knife with the red sashes, right? So I'm trying to remember the scenario. So last time, basically...
that's what you had deduced. You were asked by LaRose, the blue coat, in order, like he had asked you to go do it for the blue coats, to try and prevent fighting. But you guys all deduced that it was probably them trying to frame them.
Right, the lamplighters basically trying to frame
the red sashes,
because the red sashes that said that they weren't missing a knife.
Right.
So, actually, let me ask you guys, my crew. Do you think it'd be in our best interest to study the red sashes or the lamplighters? Because the red sashes are being framed, presumably.
I think we should study whoever asked us to plant the evidence, because we've never done that. So I'm sure that they're probably going to be very angry at us for not finishing the job.
And I really quickly want to remind you guys, and this doesn't have to do with that, but I want to remind you guys of the information that I gave you with the goose. Because you did get a name to pursue. So just in case that's something that you wanted to look at. But anyway, so
what was the name?
Teague.
Right.
And the message was like that we were interested in some bottles of something?
Yeah, it said, so the message was, congratulations on a successful evening. I heard from a friend of mine that you had a strange encounter with them, but they're keen to keep this going if you are. They said you may want to pick up a few bottles of something strong down at the docks. Ask for Teague.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
So that's that. I'm just reminding all of that because we talked about a lot of stuff, so it might have gotten lost.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was the lead.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, with that information, you know what? Let's study this Teague character and see if I can't figure out some more about them and what bottles they might be alluding to.
Okay. You want to? Okay.
Can I help Talker with that in some sort of way? Like, can my downtime help with that?
Sure. Yeah. If y'all want to work together on that, I think that's appropriate. If you are working on the same project, so you're trying to figure out what about Teague, who they are.
Trying to figure out, who they are and what sort of strong bottles they might have. You know. Maybe to offer to give us some leverage in perhaps future negotiations that we may be having with Teague, you know?
Okay.
Or it's just a crate of mollies.
What's that?
Molotov. Or it's just a crate of Molotovs.
Crate of Molotovs. Sure. All right, so let's start.
Milk, maybe.
So let's fight milk. The power of grow. So how do you want to go about getting information on Teague?
So I was thinking about maybe like skulking about the area that Teague sort of traffics, you know, asking around, you know, just sort of spending my time spying like I do.
You want to chit chat at the docks, basically. You're going to try and rub some elbows.
Yeah.
Or are you observing, studying?
I mean, a little bit of both. I'm trying to study, like I'm trying to figure out who Teague is, and then maybe just like try to observe and try to like stake out. So pick the skill that you want to roll on. I'll use study. I have 2 in study.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna say you actually have 2 timers here. One about what Teague does, and the other just about who Teague is. And so go ahead and roll your study. And we'll go through them in sequence, essentially.
So remind me, how is it that I can add to my dice rolls? Can I add dice at the expense of stress? Is that what I do?
You can essentially give your stress to add another 1.
I'll also say you also get a plus dice for assistance, which you are being assisted in this situation, right?
In this instance, I wouldn't say it's assistance because instead, Anna's going to roll her own as well.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take a stress. So I'll add 2 more to my stress to take a extra die.
Okay.
Just to try up my chances of rolling successfully here.
Okay.
And 5.
5 tries?
I'm glad I took that. I rolled 2 3s and a 5.
Okay. So yeah, you'll get 2 notches on the first wheel, which is a 4 one. So it's actually pretty.
4 wheels. Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to search more? Do you want to do something else? What do you want to do with your time?
I mean, can I roll an additional study for the other thing? So can I try rolling a different, or like, so?
Or you can work on the same project twice if you want.
Okay. Sure. Let's go again. I'll just roll 2 so I don't take another stress because I'm already at 4 on stress. And 4.
Okay. You filled it up. So,
cool.
Teague is sort of a dock worker / kind of upper like management in the dock region. She's known to be pretty blunt, pretty tough, and pretty unapproachable unless she sees you as sort of physically threatening. Everything about her is all about like kind of dominance. And so she's known to basically be like, if you can beat me in a fight, then I will respect you. Otherwise, don't care who you are. That's Teague. Works out the docks. Everybody knows Teague.
That's really good to know. So she wants to like do some fighting. Okay.
Might want to tussle.
Okay.
So, Anna, what do you want to do with your time?
I thought I was going to be clever, so I might have to rearrange. I just wanted to get a boat. I wanted to get a boat at the docks to get like information on Teague in terms of, because she works at the docks. I was like, well, what if we had a boat? And then
you want to acquire a boat, so that's you want that as like you can acquire an asset.
Yeah, and then
interesting. Okay,
it could be a ghost ship. That's the only
time we get on there, Anna.
I'd be like, I found this boat, and you'd be like, look, it looks really bad.
You played One Man in Medan, and then all of a sudden it's all about ghost boats.
Okay, listen, I know what I like.
So here's the deal. The way that acquiring something works is you roll that one as like a crew, or rather you roll that as a... You roll that. You roll a score for your crew, basically about how good of a boat can you actually get.
Yeah.
So because y'all are a low tier crew,
not a good boat.
Someone needs to roll 2 dice and give me the lowest score, and I'll tell you what kind of boat you get. So Anna, you should probably roll it since it's yours.
Okay, I will roll for boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you the lowest one?
Yes, because you guys have a low tier.
2.
A 2?
2.
Okay.
A 2 is the lowest one.
Yeah, it's a trash boat. You got...
Oh, man.
It's a dinghy.
It's like not even a dinghy. We're talking about a canoe with some holes in it. And those holes are, constantly filling up. You plug stuff in there and it gets worse. But it seems like it's going to float for a couple more days.
Okay. Ooh.
So you have acquired a boat.
Can I use that to also get information in terms of like, because Teague has some powerful stuff, so maybe Teague has some powerful liquids to help repair my boat.
Well, maybe while you were
like
down
tar or something.
Yeah, maybe while you were down at the docks acquiring this boat, which we should talk about. How did you even get this boat? You also were maybe like kind of keeping your ear out for some info on what is it that Teague is kind of into, what you got for sale or what you're doing. So first, how'd you get this boat?
Well, I see, my vice is gambling. And so I was gambling one day, and the person that I was gambling with lost, and the only thing they had was a boat. So I took
sold you a lemon. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I was really excited about it.
Anna wins crap boat.
It was while we were playing
a lot about boats. You were just like,
while playing craps,
awesome.
Exactly. When they said you want to play for craps, you're like, oh, that's a good game.
So does that fulfill one of her vices, her stress?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you didn't say that that's what you were going to be doing it for. So this was just in your regular everyday gambling that you do.
Yeah,
so beyond that, what would you like to do? So you want to try and like kind of keep your ear out for maybe some info on Teague's. So roll for that.
Okay.
Just pick like maybe what you'd be doing to keep your ear out.
Okay. Ooh. All the time I just want to talk to ghosts and see what the ghosts know about everything.
Because maybe that's how you do it. Maybe there's some ghosts at the docks.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna attune to the area around, and actually, I can use my special ability. That's more for like I'm aware of supernatural entity. Yeah, let's.
Yeah, so you're always aware of them. You're always like, oh, yeah, there's ghosts around here.
But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use my special ability, Ghost Mind, to sense all the ghosts of the docks. Plus, I get to roll an extra dice then.
Gotcha.
4. Good thing I had that extra dice. Yeah, 4.
Okay, so yeah, you filled up a couple notches of it. You didn't fully discern what it is that Teague is into, but you heard some whispers, something. Mm-hmm. Clearly, the ghosts are aware of Teague, and clearly they find her intimidating. And you saw them clustered in certain areas. Maybe if you went and investigated those in the future or something like that, maybe you would find something. But for now, you don't quite know who Teague is, or you don't know what Teague does. All right, finally, Ash, what you got for me?
I think I'd like to train.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd like to spend my time training my resolve. And specifically, while Liddy's around, I would like to invite Liddy to a tea party with me to practice my consorting.
Go on.
Do you agree, Liddy?
Go on. I could use a break from this long-term project.
Lydia, it seems like you are pretty good at swaying people's minds and gallivanting with the finer folks of the world. I'd like to get some experience in that, if you wouldn't mind. I've prepared some eel scones and some cap tea.
First off, you don't use this to consort with anybody. This is all... What is this? I pick up a wet scone that basically has an eel shoved into it.
It's about the finer things, Liddy, all right?
This is definitely not finer things. A finer thing would be a scone that it doesn't have an eel inside of it.
So like a not eel scone. All right, this is good. I'm taking notes. Hold on. All right, what else? Is the tea acceptable? It's cap tea.
There's no such thing as cap tea.
Okay.
You just put cap wine in here, which is a good start.
I did.
I pour myself a glass.
All right, taking notes. No such thing as cap tea. All right, but the tea set is nice, right? It's got the flowers.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how are the markets doing for you? Have your horses come in recently? How
Should I be worried? Have you gotten into anything? Let me feel your forehead. Are you feverish?
I'm fine. I'm trying to understand how the class above talk. Then this is something along those lines, right? Yes, no?
Well, I don't deal with the class above most of the time. No? I deal with other traders like myself.
Well, you talk to them. You consort with them. I have to imagine you have some understanding
of how the upper class works. Definitely not.
How you talk with their level.
I don't normally talk to them though.
Well, now you're learning. You've learned.
You're learning a lot, man.
That you got to consort with someone else.
Apparently,
how to consort. But you still get to gain one XP because you did all of that with quite a lot of reserve.
And that's that would just be one into the resolve tree, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you got one more action you can do. So you can't train resolve again, but you could train something else or do any of the other things.
I'd like to go spend some of my money practicing my vice.
Okay, what is your vice? Oh, geez.
Is yours gambling as well?
No.
Okay. Ash was actually really excited about this last time we played.
Ash does know about the river, though, so he couldn't be gambling.
I'm going to take a trip to Dunridge and Sons to buy myself some extremely opulent wares for myself. Nice clothes.
Do you like luxury?
A nice shoes, however much my one coin will take me in Dunridge. I'm going to spend the entire.
You're shopping? Is that what you're doing?
I'm shopping.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Brittany's proud of you, by the way.
Okay. So the way you roll for clearing your stress is you will roll your weakest quality. So of your insight, prowess, and resolve.
Okay.
The score that you would use for the quality would be whatever the highest one in that is. So, what is your weakest?
So resolve is my weakest, and I have 1 into command in that.
Okay. So you will roll 1 dice.
Okay. That's a 1. Price.
Okay, you will clear 1 stress.
I have
and
0
I'm no
stress.
longer stress. You have 0 stress?
Yeah.
Wait. He did this on purpose. So now he is overindulging. This is why he asked about it earlier. So, when you overindulge, you make a bad call because of your vice. In acquiring it or while under its influence, to bring the effect of this bad decision into the game, select an overindulgence from this list. So, you either attract trouble, you brag, you are lost for some time, or your current purveyor cuts you off. You have to find a new source for your vice.
I feel like he peacocks so hard with his one coin.
I'm going to say you bragged. You were in there and you were spending this coin and you were talking to the purveyor of this place. Oh, Fumpernoose, let me tell you, we had the greatest weekend. I just can't wait to tell you. And you spilled all the beans. All them beans.
Yeah.
You gained +2 heat for the crew.
I look good, though, right?
You look good doing it.
Okay.
So y'all are now at 4 heat.
Okay.
Gosh. Oh, that's great.
Just mark it on my chat.
Okay. So that was downtime. I think that was it. Yeah, you all did your things. We did your downtime activities, and that would move us forward into the next section.